So, I have a book haul for you. This time, it was one where today was $5 bag day, and they didn't count my blue IKEA bag as one bag. I had to use their bags, but I still managed to keep it in my $10 because that's all I allowed myself to spend. So, I'm just gonna go through everything, and Alex isn't here filming, so I've got my phone propped up, so sorry for any issues. This one was a lot better than the last one, so they had some really good stuff. So, I got 13 Reasons Why by Jay Asher. Sorry the lighting and everything, it just doesn't want his head to prop up my phone. I got a copy of The Book Thief, which I've actually got out from the library right now. Oh my. Sorry, Layla. So I can return that now that I have a copy to read. Let me pick up these. Excuse me for a moment.
Yummy. Hey, books.
Yes, River. Lots of books fell. Mommy is filming too, so you may not be on the bed. Okay, sorry about that. The books were badly balanced. I've got People of the Book by Geraldine Brooks, which is another one that I had out from the library that I can return. Some of these, I don't know if I'm going to keep them, but this way I don't have as many things checked out from the library, or, you know, I don't have to read them with a time limit or whatever. I got The Immortal Life of Henrietta Lacks by Rebecca Skloot. I've been wanting to read this. Oh, okay, there's a lot of these. Most of these I've been wanting to read, so I got that. I don't even know if I can get everything out of this. Oh, I messed up the dust jacket. Darn it. Anyway, I got The Guernsey Literary and Potato Peel Society by Mary Ann Schaefer and Annie Barrows. I have been in a mood of reading books about books, if you can't tell. So, where are you? This is another one I had out from the library, so I can return that. I got The Secret History by Donna Tartt. I've heard a lot of good things about this, and I've been wanting to read it for a while, so that's exciting. I got An Astronaut's Guide to Life on Earth by Colonel Chris Hadfield. What going through space taught me about ingenuity, determination, and being prepared for anything. I don't know if I've heard of this. It might be on my Goodreads list and I've just forgotten about it, but this sounded really good, so I grabbed it. This one, I tend to find a lot of interesting historical fictions at sales like this. This is The House at Riverton by Kate Morton. I don't know anything about this one, but I opened it up and looked at it, and it is a novel set in England between the wars. After the First World War and before the second one. So that just sounded interesting. Cleopatra's Shadows by Emily Holloman. I like Cleopatra, and this is a historical fiction about her, so I grabbed it. Hadassah, One Night with the King by Tommy Tinney with Mark Andrew Olson. This is like a biblical historical fiction, which is another thing that I really enjoy. So, and plus when I read stuff like that, I can read it and then share it with my mom because she likes them as well. So this just sounded interesting. You'll hear me say that phrase a lot as well. They had these clear bags, but they're the kind that they're not like Walmart bags. They're like this, so I could fit a lot of books in. I don't know what my phone is doing. Okay. The Crimson Petal and the White by Michael Faber. Don't know if I've heard of this. Looked interesting. It's about a 19-year-old prostitute in Victorian London. Historical fiction. So it's kind of chunky, but that sounded good. I try not to read the entire synopsis, just like if the first couple of sentences, if I look at the book and I'm like, that looks interesting, and then I look at the synopsis and I read the first sentence or two and I'm like, that sounds good, then I grab it, because book sales like this, they're really cheap. So I got some Philippa Gregory's that I didn't have, which is always good. I've got to double check, because I had a list of the ones that I have that I haven't read, but I don't have a list of the ones that I have but I've read, so I gotta double check that, but I'm pretty sure I don't have these. This is The Other Queen by Philippa Gregory. I love Philippa Gregory, especially her like Tudors series. Okay, this one I know nothing about, and there's no synopsis or anything, but the title, I had to pick this up. It is The Sex Diary of Gerard Sormay. I don't know, it may suck, but I had to pick it up. I got a copy of The Great Gatsby, which I have read, and it is a good book. And it's also a classic that'll be nice to have around for the girls for school. A Raisin in the Sun by Lorraine Hansberry. I've read. It's good. I used to have a copy of. And another one that'll be good for the girls in school. This is a play, but it's a really good one. I got this cute little copy of Othello. Like, check this out. This sale, today's Thursday. This sale's been going since Sunday, and they still have some really good stuff. But this is from the 1930s, and it's small, and I couldn't say no to this. I mean, come on. I couldn't say no to that. The Bridges of Madison County by Robert James Waller. Okay, I don't know if this is Madison County, Illinois, or what, but I'm from Madison County, Illinois. And plus, I just saw a reference to this book in another book, so I have no idea what this is about or anything, but those two things, I picked it up and figured I can at least read it. River, come here! River got this. I don't think it has a title. It's just like a squishy book, and it's got a bunch of like nursery rhymes and stuff. Here you go, Riv.
There we go.
This is The Silent Wife by A.S.A. Harrison. It looks to be a thriller. It says it's soon to be a motion picture. And it just sounded like a good thriller. So I figured I'd give it a shot. Don Quixote by Cervantes. This is an unabridged edition. So those are not the easiest things to find like on the internet and stuff. They're easier to find like in person. And I need to read this, and it's might be something I might use for the girls later on. I don't know. I have to read it first. It's translated by Walter Starkey. So, and then bag number 2. Eek. 50 States, A Little Child's 50 States of America. It's kind of like a board book, but it's got stuff about the 50 states. So that's for River. River, here's your book. Okay, these Indestructibles are like $6 a pop normally. Because I just got one for a friend's son for his first birthday. And River has one, and it's all crunkled. And these are like brand new. So I picked up a couple of these. I'll find the other one in a minute. But this is the Baby Peekaboo one. Here you go. My mom used to collect Cabbage Patch Kids, so I got River. River! This Cabbage Patch Kids board book. And then she got a Dr. Seuss board book. There's a Walk It in My Pocket. She's potty training right now, so we got this. It is I'm a Big Kid Now, a book about toilet training. It's got different stories and stuff for parents, and I don't know. I don't know if it's going to be any good. It might be pointless, but figured we could try it. I got a copy of Arsenic on Old Lace because I've never actually read this, and I should do so. Another Philippa Gregory, The White Queen. I might have a copy of this in my pile of already read, but I'm not. Sorry, my phone cut me off. The White Queen by Philippa Gregory. I might have a copy of this in my books I've already read, but with it being this cheap, like $5 a bag, I figured I'd go ahead and pick it up. Twinkle Twinkle Little Star board book for River. Here you go, Riv. This is another cute little copy. This isn't a hardcover like Othello, but this is a cute little copy of King Lear, and it is from the 1940s. I mean, stuff like this, I'm sorry, I just can't say no to. I got a really old copy of The Very Hungry Caterpillar for River. She has a boardwalk copy, but she doesn't have a paper copy. Here, River. I don't entirely know what this is, but I figured I'd grab it. Tales from Shakespeare by Charles and Mary Lamb. A Little Princess by Frances Hodgson Burnett. I really liked this as a kid, so I wanted to have a copy on the shelves for the girls. If you don't already know, we're homeschooling River for sure, and Sylvia, as soon as, if and when we get custody of her, she wants to be homeschooled, so I am okay with that. It's her decision, and if that's what she still wants, then that's fine with me. This just sounded good. This is Irish Fairy and Folk Tales, and even if we don't homeschool them, having this stuff around is good for them. They can just pick it up and read it. By Yeats. I'm trying to find a date. This is old. It doesn't say, but it's an old copy, and it just looked good. Let's see. I don't know, there's like notes and stuff. And this has got to be from what, the 30s, earlier? But anyway, it looked good. Like, I wanted to read it, and it's also a nice copy. Kon-Tiki. This is a book my dad likes and recommended to me for Nonfiction November in like 2017, and I still haven't gotten around to reading it. So this is Roman numerals. 1950, copyright 1950 for this one. So I figured I'd read this, and then if I don't end up keeping it, my dad would appreciate the copy. We're almost done here. Like I said, I can fit a lot of books in these kinds of bags. I had to help Mom with hers. I got, again, I have Macbeth, but I couldn't say no to this copy. This is not as old as the others, because this one is from 1990, but it's still a nice looking copy. So they had a copy of the illustrated Dracula with the illustrations by Jay Lee. I mean, I'm pretty sure we do not have a copy of Dracula, first off, and I found a regular copy of Dracula, and I grabbed it, and then I saw this one, I grabbed it, and I talked to Mom, and she's like, well, you really only need one, and I'm like, you're right, so I got the illustrated one. So, stories from Shakespeare. I don't know if this is going to be any good. I don't really know anything about it. I don't know if it's my kind of thing. It's from 1956, and it looked interesting. I think it's like synopses or something. This is one book. I got this for Alex. This is Shogun by James Clavell. It's a novel about Japan. This is the hardcovers, volume 1 and 2. So it's in 2 volumes because it's such a long book. He has this in softcover, but I thought the hardcovers would be a nice surprise, and Mom agreed it'd be nice to have a nicer set, a nicer copy, even though it's like 2 books. Philippa Gregory, Fallen Skies, which I'm pretty sure this is, I mean, I know this is historical fiction, but this is post-World War I England, so that's a time period that I haven't really read from her before, so I thought I'd try that out. I just really like Philippa Gregory's writing. And then I got this for Riv. This is Strawberry Shortcake's Outdoor Fun. It's a board book from the 80s. My phone must be running out of memory or something, because that's the second time it cut me off. I got this for River. It's Strawberry Shortcake's Outdoor Fun. It's a board book from the 80s. This is like the Strawberry Shortcake my mom loved as a kid. So I had to get that for her. You're welcome. They had a lot of really good books, a lot of vintage books, as you've seen, and this is just a really good one. I would definitely go to this book sale again. So, let me know if you guys like these book sale hauls, and I'll keep filming them. My local library, the one I've told you about that has mostly 10-cent books, they're having a book sale on Saturday, so if Alex lets me, I'm probably going to go to that. Otherwise, have you guys read any of these? Do you have opinions on any of them? Don't spoil me for the ones I haven't read. Don't spoil other people, period. Otherwise, don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!